if you were invested in this market over the past week, just like me, if you have a portfolio that looks anything like me, which is primarily developers, junior exploration companies, maybe a couple mid-tier miners, you have had a horrible week last week. Unfortunately, those things happen. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't disqualify the thesis that we have. We just made a horrible week. I think I've lost about 15% last week, something like that. But it's just paper losses. It's not realized losses. It's not a loss until you actually realize it. Up until that point, it's just paper losses. But definitely a lot of paper losses last week. I've been thinking about why that happened, and I do think that the most obvious thing is the SpaceX IPO. Right, a lot of people who are invested in the gold and silver mining space are people who have risk capital, are people who are willing to take a chance, and are people who are willing to take risks. Right? Those are the same kinds of investors who buy IPOs. Unfortunately, it's just the case. It's just retail investors trying to chase hypes. That is, unfortunately, a lot of people in this industry as well. But I do feel like a lot of people sold their gold, their silver, their Bitcoin over the past couple weeks, and as a result, their mining stocks as well, to participate in this SpaceX IPO. Because this $2 trillion company that just went public, right? It has to suck in capital from other parts of the market. And I do believe that this drawdown is part of that sucking capital that's moving from one market to another. But I was watching the Hedgeless Horseman. I really like his videos. I really like his stoic view on this market. And I watch all the videos that he posts with his copium and with his explanation about his view on the market. And he made a really good point. We've had this massive run up, right, in the price of gold. Everybody knows that we went from 1800 to about 5,000, and now we have a pretty sizable correction, actually, that has been going on for a couple months now, right? Let me see. The correction has been going on from January until where we are now. That is about 130 days. What's that? About 4 months, something like that. It's a 4-month long correction. And the correction is right now about 25%. So that's a pretty sizable correction, right? So this correction that we are experiencing right now is the biggest correction that we are experiencing since the bull market started in 2015. And that really says a lot about the size of this correction, right? And about the state that we are in right now and what we can expect in the future as well. Because from this point on, right, how much more correction is there possibly going to come? Because if there is a huge correction coming from this point, right, then we need to calculate that in our expectations. Now, if we go back to the last time we had a huge correction, right? If we go back to the correction in 2008, and I want to go back to 2008 because that's kind of where we are in the market right now. We got a massive speculative bubble. People are going wild with their money. And we just had the first $2 trillion IPO, and we just minted the first trillionaire on Earth. So I think that the market is very frothy right now. We are in a bubble, and it's going to burst at some point. Well, what happened the last time a bubble bursts? We got a correction in gold that from peak to bottom was 33.8%, right? And that was from 2008 until 2008. It didn't last a year, but that correction lasted until the bottom, about 217 days. We can see that gold has dropped right now from peak to bottom about 27.9%. So that means that if we are going to have a full-blown financial crisis meltdown in the price of gold, right? And we are going to look from peak to bottom, we are going to go down 33%. That would mean that we are going to go down to $3,000 and $3,500 gold. That is a further decline from here of about 16%. You know, that doesn't seem that bad to me, at least. And this is the worst financial crisis that we've seen since God knows when. You know, 2008 was really horrible. Gold fell 33%. A lot of things got blown up in that recession, in that financial crisis. And to get to the same magnitude of correction, we only need to drop 16 more percent. So, you know, I don't think that that is that bad. We can definitely go down another 16%. All of the stocks that I own are cheap right now, right? They're extremely cheap. They're bargains right now. They're so cheap. They're giving them away, essentially. But I know that if gold drops another 16 or 17%, the stocks that I own, they're still cheap. You know, they're still cheap, even if gold drops another 17%. So I can have this entire correction. I can eat this entire correction and not sell anything and not have fundamental losses in my portfolio. I like the idea that I can have a full-blown 2008 level financial crisis and the stocks that I own are still cheap. That's a good spot to be in. That makes me sleep very well at night. Because the world can go to shit tomorrow, and I still wouldn't be underwater. And that is a very good place to be, you know? But yeah, I got this spreadsheet that I made a couple months ago. We won't go into it now, but you can add some numbers in there, and then you can see why I think all of these stocks are still cheap. Yeah, the charts look horrible. Not gonna lie, the charts look horrible. If we just look at this, right? So, gold has already gone down. 25% if we go to the worst financial crisis in history, or well, in recent history, 33%. It just looks like it wants to go down forever. But yeah, that's the time when you should buy, right? Gold is fundamentally cheap, gone down in price by about 25% already, and now the chart looks horrible. And now the chart is signaling, I want to go down further. I want to go down all the way for another, what is it, until the next support, about 20%, right? This is the moment where you could be a contrarian, right? This is the moment where you could think, well, gold looks like it wants to go down, but I think it's pretty cheap. Well, I do believe that moments like this could be a nice buying opportunity. See, this is the nice thing about corrections, right? Because last time I looked at Visa Silver, in November 2025, I made a video about Visa Silver. And at that point, Visa Silver was about $7. So since the last time I looked at it, it's down about 30%, right? And that changes a story completely, of course. Because something that is expensive could become cheap, and then the story changes, right? I know that a lot of these charts, right, and this is a point that I want to make as well. A lot of these charts look horrible, and I kind of like that, right? A lot of these charts, this is Goliath Resources, right? All of these charts, they went down 50 to 60%, right? And right now, gold looks and is signaling that it wants to go lower even. So, you know, the charts look like they want to drop another 50% from here, right? To go back to like this support zone right here. Isn't that amazing? You know, isn't that great? Isn't that the moment where you should be thinking, oh wait, maybe this might be a moment where I could be buying some cheap stocks. When gold is saying I'm going to go down another 20% to get to this zone right here, to this support zone, all of that is getting calculated into these gold prices, into these stock prices. And so even though these stocks are already cheap, they are getting sold tremendously hard. Because gold is down 30%, a lot of these gold mines are down 50, 60%. Well, that is an asymmetry that you can take advantage of as just a regular investor. If you have the patience, of course. You know, if you have the patience. Because we just looked at gold. Let's look at the gold and silver ratio. We've been looking at this week on week. And this triangle has still been building out. You can see that we broke out to the upside, or well, we broke out to the downside, then we went back in. Now we broke out to the upside and we're retesting it. A very pivotal moment, because I'm going to say an extremely big analysis piece right now. This can either go up or it can go down. I know. These are the kind of insights that you only get at silver lining analysis. It can go up or it can go down. But all jokes aside, this is a pretty key moment, because if this breaks down and from this point we go lower, then it is a pretty solid indicator that we are actually going to resume this bull market in silver, which means that a lot of speculation is going to come back in the market, which means we are potentially at the end of this correction. But if this goes up, we can potentially see another lag in this correction, which means that we might get to the 2008 numbers, which means that gold can drop another 16% from here, which means that you are mentally going to have to prepare for a portfolio that is going to go down 40% from this point on. But that kind of depends on this chart. So, this is going to be very important next couple weeks. And this is what I meant with all of these charts looking ugly, right? If we look at the GDX, we can see that it had a uptrend here. GDX, for the people who don't know, index for big gold mining companies. It has dropped about 30% from the top, so it had a pretty decent correction, about in line with the correction in the gold price. But from here, it is actually signaling, right? It is actually signaling that it wants to go down to another support zone, which is about here, right? Somewhere about this zone, which is another 30% drawdown. That all depends on what gold does, and that all depends on what the gold and silver ratio does, and that probably all depends on what the stock market does. If we see the stock market dip from here, we might see the 2008 scenario play out, which means that gold can drop another 18 to 20%, which means that the GDX can drop another 30. So I don't want to look at these prices all that much. I look at my portfolio, the actual value of it, maybe once a month or something like that. So it doesn't really affect me personally. But, you should definitely be mentally prepared to wait for a longer time. And the same is probably true with the GDXJ, the SIL, and the SILJ. All of them having big corrections. All right, you have this, I'm not really a chartist, but I try sometimes. But, something like this. There was an uptrend. It broke the uptrend. Now we're down, right? About the same amount, 35%. And it's signaling that it wants to go lower. I don't see a very clear reason why gold would drop another 20% from here, right? The first correction, this correction, we went up $2,500, 100% in the price of gold. I fully understand why we needed a 30% correction. I get that, right? But assuming that the world isn't going to end tomorrow, and assuming that the financial markets are not going to melt down in the next couple months, I don't see why gold would have another big correction from this point. That, with the fact that all of these charts just look ugly and are pointing lower, there's not a lot of speculation in this market right now. I don't see a lot of chatter on Twitter about people saying that gold is going to go to $9,000 at the end of the year. So a lot of this speculation has gone. And I like that. And that's a point where I would consider taking on some more leverage, but of course that's extremely risky. Don't do that. Don't listen to me, don't take my advice. This is not advice, by the way. Have to save your own ass in these kind of markets,